It is a big surprise, and it seems to be quite widespread. So it seems to be that a lot of the major comparison websites have been implicated and accused of this. And it also comes at a time when Ofgem, the energy regulator, has been trying to make some concerted steps to sort of open up the market, make it far more easier and transparent for customers to engage with suppliers. And this latest accusation really doesn't do their policy objective any good.
Well, this is the point, isn't it? I mean, all of the price comparison people that we spoke to today, they all said, well, hang on, we comply with Ofgem's confidence code. I mean, that kind of suggests the confidence code needs toughening up a bit, doesn't it?
It does. I think we'd rather see Ofgem have a look at its policy in terms of how they accredit these guys, and potentially just look at the sort of default mechanism on these websites. You know, potentially there should be an automatic default that when you click on these websites, it shows the entire market as standard. We know, regardless of whether you can actually switch using those sites or not.
Is it possible to generalise the sort of commissions these sites are making when a customer switches?
It's really difficult. I mean, we've seen some recent news. It's, you know, between sort of £50 and £60. Again, it probably depends on each individual business model. You know, suppliers obviously, you know, are playing their role as well. You know, we could potentially be arguing that suppliers shouldn't be paying commission in the first place, and potentially that could force these guys to change their business models entirely. You know, that's another route that we could be looking at.
But this is quite worrying, given that switching levels have tended to slow down in general of late anyway, haven't they?
I think they have to some degree. I think one of the key issues is that switching is quite a laborious process. It takes between sort of 4 to 6 weeks, so it's quite a long process. And Ofgem have been looking at ways of cutting that down, even trying to halve it. So those sort of measures might promote further switching. I think we've also seen Ofgem now actually oblige suppliers to tell customers on their bills whether they're on the cheapest tariff or not. So there are other mechanisms in play, not just these comparison websites, that are actually constantly telling customers whether or not they should be looking at switching.